Hey, welcome to How to Build Your Own Home. I want to talk about utilities. Utilities delve into something called logistics, and logistics is really about the utilization of space and time and moving products and materials and getting infrastructure in without interrupting too much of other people's work. Now, here I'm installing utilities, power, low voltage, water, etc., almost first before just about anything else. And why? Because it makes a huge mess. And I know my concrete guy wants to start, but if he started and I'm doing this, he'd be having to haul all of his stuff up 350 feet just to get access up here. And that's going to frustrate him. It's going to delay his ability to complete in a timely fashion. And you don't want to do that with subcontractors. The minute you start delaying them and making their product or their process longer, it gets frustrating. They start losing money. That's part of logistics, is factoring in the cost of time that you're imposing on other people. So I'm going to get utilities done first. So when they're done, I'm not going to affect anybody's flow of materials, anybody's flow of time to get their work done. It puts my project off a little bit, but at the same time, I'm saving everyone issues and headaches. So right here in this trench right here, it's a 18-inch trench. It goes down 4 feet. And this is my power trench, and it goes down almost 400, in excess of 400 feet, down at a power pole all the way down near the front of the entrance of the property. Now, typically with power companies, they would take another pole, loop it over, put a transformer up above, and we didn't want that. So we're doing all underground system, and we'll have a transformer pad right here, really close to the build of the home, within about another 75 feet. So all I have to do is take a long turn 90, which I have down here, and we'll put this in the trench, and it will come up right into the transformer box. And this long turn 90 will go to the house, and the other long turn 90 will be turned around, and it's going to go down the trench that way. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you can typically, sometimes some jurisdictions don't recommend it, but it can be done, is I'm going to put low voltage cable, which might be future fiber optics, which I know is being installed down the road. We're going to put that 12 inches apart down in the bottom of the trench. Now, you can put them horizontally 12 inches apart, or you can put them 12 inches apart vertically or horizontally. Either way, we're just going to do it on the bottom of the trench. They're both going to be insulated. They're both going to be sealed. The low voltage is going to be in its own conduit. So I don't have any problems with that. I just don't want them in parallel touching each other, because you can have some interference. That high voltage can tend to interfere, especially cable. It can interfere that. So you want them at least separated. And so we're going to do that at the same time. Why? Because this trench took almost 3.5 days to dig. It was not easy. Very hard pan clay, especially near the bottom, and it took that long. You don't want to have to expend that additional cost to do a third trench just for low voltage. That can be very, very costly. And so the other thing we did was we got water in, which is right about here. Let me show you water and what I did and why I did with that, and we'll come back to this here. Up here, we've got a direct bury water line. It's a thicker gauge, which you see here. It's a 1-inch line. And you can see it coiled up here, and it goes all the way up to the top there. And I think we've got about 75 feet coiled up on the ground. Now, I needed water here first. We dug that, trenched that, put it in, buried, now good to go. I needed water here because I need water to get compaction. I can't get compaction with dust like that. I mean, this is a good material for compaction, but you can see it's not holding anything at all. I need moisture in there. So I'm never going to pass any kind of compaction without water. So that's the first thing I brought up here. On another job I did over across the valley, I didn't have to bring water in because I used the neighbor's water. They were okay with that. So I was able to delay that headache. Plus, it wasn't a massive infrastructure like we did here just to get water here. So that's the first thing we did. And then over about 6-8 feet away, now we've got our power trench. And again, we'll have our low voltage. And I'm going to run that low voltage all the way through the trench, back out. And then we're going to trench it into the house up this way. And that low voltage and high voltage will continue up through the street, up through the road this way, and tap into the garage. Very complicated, but messy. But I'm glad we're getting it done now. It's a great way to just solve problems that are logistically messy. If you've got a job that's logistically messy and you don't have access to water from another neighbor and you don't have access to power from anybody at all, you need to get these things in as soon as you can. Now, the good thing is the septic, we can do that later. That's going to be an infill inside the property. It's not going to be inside a road anywhere, which obviously it can't be. And we can do that later with the proper slope. But water, low voltage, power, we're getting that done now. And I just wanted to go through some logistics and what I'm solving, how I'm solving it. And we actually trenched this with my own Traco. And this, again, a lot of people ask, is it more efficient to just go buy a Traco and do stuff like that? If you can get a used one, that might be a benefit. This here little Traco is going to do a lot of work on landscaping, a lot of work on moving boulders. You see all these boulders? It can literally pick up all these boulders with its opposing thumb and move them and place them anywhere you want. If you've got a job site where you've got boulders like that, like that's a nice boulder.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
If you got a job like that, it might be something to can look at. And then when you're done, oh my goodness, you're efficient with the use of that machinery. Now you've got a little side hustle. I just wanted to throw that out, and it's another way for people to build opportunities for themselves in the future. Again, this is how to build your own home, talking about utilities, logistics, and how we're doing it.